Welcome to Revenza Tales, where heartbreak and ferocious comebacks liberate your soul. Hit subscribe, tap bell, and tell friends who rise from ashes. What do you do when the love you believed in breaks, and a stranger's mansion is your second chance? I'm Sarah Perez, age 28, a nurse at Harborview Medical Center in Seattle, Washington. I thought I'd found forever with Ethan Caldwell, my fiancé, until he took it back in one breath. It was a rainy afternoon, Seattle buzzing with coffee cups and umbrellas. I walked into Brew Haven, a hip downtown coffee shop, air thick with roasted beans, cinnamon pastries. My scrubs were wrinkled from a long shift, but I smiled, envisioning Ethan at our corner table. I didn't sit down. Ethan glanced up from his latte, hazel eyes icy. A stranger's. Sarah, we have to talk. My gut twisted. I inched into the chair, hugging my bag, trying to laugh. Caterer screw up the menu again? He didn't grin, dipped into his jacket, placed a velvet box on the table, not to give, to claim. I can't marry you. 7 words, cutting, absolute, a slam door. I came to an abrupt stop, breath wedged between shock, shame. What? He sat back, free. We're heading in opposite directions. I've formed bonds, significant ones. Claire Prescott and I have things in common I didn't realize. Claire Prescott, Richard Prescott's daughter, venture capitalist who controls half of Seattle's tech world. My heart racing. You're leaving me for her? It's not that way, he fibbed, eyes giving him away. You need someone uncomplicated. Then, turning the knife. The ring is a family heirloom. Grandmother will expect it back. My hands trembled, dropping it off, putting it between us. Thank you for honesty. I left, through inquiring glances, into the rain. On Pike Street, tears fell, hot, uncontrollable, rinsing away the life I'd envisioned. I couldn't return to our Capitol Hill apartment, its half-emptied boxes, wedding gown hanging like a specter. I walked Seattle's rainy streets, phone vibrating with coworkers' messages I couldn't respond. In the apartment, my worst nightmare awaited. Stuff in suitcases with labels by the entrance, a return to sender package. Not Ethan's doing, too fussy, his mother's, erasing me from his immaculate existence. I collapsed to the chilled tile, jeans nipping. My Tacoma studio lease was up, rented to a grad student. My $11,200 savings, spent on the wedding, leaving me with $87, 6 days to payday. I was 13 again, in foster care, awaiting someone to determine my value. I was desperate. I called Linda Hayes, my foster mother, after a year's silence. She picked up, her voice a gentle mooring. Sarah, honey, I was thinking about those boots we saw yesterday. A sob escaped, that was all. In an hour, I was on her Tacoma sofa, holding peppermint tea, quilt pulled up over me. Stay as long as you need, she told me, brushing my hair like when I was a fearful child. You've got nothing to prove. Sleep would not come. I curled up on her pull-out bed, repeating Ethan's words in my head. Was I a temporary holding place until Claire's shiny world materialized? By morning, pain had crystallized into shame. At 28, I was to begin a family, not be homeless and heartbroken, back at zero with a duffel bag and nursing degree. I showered, got dressed, went to Harborview, determined to keep my pieces intact with grit. At the hospital, I floated like a ghost. Nurses inquired about wedding details, flowers, locations. I gritted smiles, lying. We're refining the guest list. The truth would rip me open, reveal the raw mess. Scrubs weighed more. Fluorescent lights taunted my stalled life. Seattle wasn't large enough to flee Ethan and Claire's new life, probably plastered at tech parties. I needed out. 3 days crawled by, each a fight to preserve my heart. I explained to colleagues the wedding was delayed, Ethan away on a business trip, whoppers mounting, as weighed as sorrow. On the 3rd day, testing the 4 in room 12, Rachel, our practical charge nurse, popped her head into the room. Sarah, still fantasizing about leaving this drudgery? I blinked, taken aback. What? She pulled me to the hallway, voice low. Tara from Ortho took a private nursing gig. Big money, bailed last week, couldn't handle the client. I frowned. Who's the client? Rachel smirked. Nathan Cole, tech hotshot, paralyzed after a climbing accident, lives in a Bellevue mansion. Total nightmare. My pulse quickened. What's the pay? Triple our salary, private suite, meals, no night shifts, 1 patient. He scared off every nurse in 2 weeks. I hesitated. Hospital nurse, not live-in caregiver, but escape rang like a lifeline. I'd survived foster care by grabbing opportunities. This seemed like one. Got a contact? Rachel gave me a card. Helen Voss, estate manager, elegant script, a number. Good luck. You'll need it. That evening, in Linda's backyard, Puget Sound wind sharp, I called, hands trembling, finished with fear. I hardly slept until Helen Voss's call, her tone crisp, accustomed to orders. Can you interview tomorrow, 9 a.m.? I stuttered. Yes. She texted a Bellevue address. By 4 a.m., I was on a Tacoma to Seattle shuttle, then a taxi through Bellevue's verdant hills. Suburban sprawl gave way to magazine-perfect estates. Nathan Cole's mansion, glass, steel, looming like it sprouted from the hillside, took my breath, a fortress of wealth, isolation. The black gate creaked open. I emerged, holding my resume. 60s, severe bun, navy suit. Helen Voss. Eyes scanned like a chart. You're early. I didn't want to be late, I replied, firmer than I was. She nodded. Come this way. The interview was surgical, brief, accurate, without warmth. Helen skimmed my resume, asked about ICU experience, stress, discretion. Nathan Cole is complex, round-the-clock care, 2 days off a month, no visitors, medical expertise critical. Can you handle it? I thought of Ethan's betrayal, suitcases, starting over. Yes. She slid a contract across. The position's yours, $12,000 a month, bonuses based on progress, live adjacent to Mr. Cole's suite, meals, lodging included, review by tomorrow. I gripped the chair, masking a gasp. Triple my pay, a lifeline. I'll begin tomorrow, I signed. Helen's eyes relaxed by a degree. Be prepared, he's not what you imagine. The mansion's hard angles, still rooms towered, a promise, a threat. I didn't have a plan, only a duffel bag, bleeding heart. But here I was, that was enough for now. Morning next, standing outside Nathan Cole's suite, contract clutched in hand, heart pounding, polished wood of the hallway, soft light absorbed sound. Helen stood, clipboard held like a shield. You're certain about this? I signed the contract, I said. That's not what I asked, she said. I nodded. Yes. She knocked twice, entered the room. The room, more gallery than bedroom, floor-to-ceiling windows holding Bellevue's misty hills, sunlight on hardwood. It was cold, constructed for someone not there. Nathan Cole, in a gleaming wheelchair by the window, beat the armrest, back to us, counting down to something. Helen's voice clipped. Mr. Cole, your new nurse, Sarah Perez. He didn't turn, continued to tap, then turned, and I stopped. Nathan Cole was no feeble old man. Nathan Cole, mid-20s, tall even sitting, with black hair and a jawline sharp enough to shave with, turned away from the window. His green eyes, hard, appraised me as if I'd flunked a test. So they sent another. I opened my mouth. He stopped me. What's the bet, Helen? Week? 10 days? Helen Voss did not blink. I'll let you become familiar. The door clicked closed, a trap. Silence lingered. I spoke. I'm not here to gamble. I'm here to do my work. He rolled closer, regarding me like a puzzle he did not wish to solve. And what's that? Dispensing pills, holding my hand while I don't walk? His smirk dared me to break. I'm here to enable you to live, not pity you, I told him, meeting his gaze. His narrowed his eyes, no response. Something warned me I'd passed a first test, whether he acknowledged it or not. Day one with Nathan was a balancing act. His cutting edges hurled barbs to make me jump. I didn't. I dealt with tougher, vets cursing through agony, children struggling with needles. Nathan Cole wouldn't shatter me. I administered meds, reviewed his therapy plan, ignored jabs about nurses playing heroes. By evening he was quiet, watching me adjust his bed, those piercing eyes waiting for a slip. A storm rolled over Bellevue that night, wind rattling the mansion's windows. I couldn't sleep. Ethan's voice, Claire's name, the ring I'd returned, echoing in my head. At 1 a.m., a light glowed from the West Wing gym, a place staff rarely entered. It's nothing, I said to myself, a misplaced switch, but something yanked me out of bed. I put on a sweater, sneaked down the hallway, the silence of the mansion pushing. I opened the gym door. Nathan gripped parallel bars, arms shaking, sweat forming. His legs, shaky, took painful steps. My own breath caught up with him. He was walking, or attempting, alone, in hiding. The door groaned, his head jerked up, his eyes blazing. What the hell are you doing? I heard something, thought you needed assistance, I said, entering. His jaw set, knuckles white. Get out, Sarah, now. I didn't budge, not obstinacy, but noticing his fire unwillingness to give up. Why hide this? You're gaining ground. He laughed, bitter. Gaining ground? People witness this, look for miracles, then bail when I'm unable to perform. His voice cracked, revealing hurt. I approached closer. I'm not saying anything. If you'll let me assist, we can get it done properly. You don't have to be by yourself. He glared, angry, then worn out. Fine, but nobody knows. You do what I say. I nodded. Done. Something changed. Not trust, but a beginning. Early morning secret sessions started. Bellevue's hills veiled in mist. In the gym, mansion slumbering, air cut with waxed wood, sweat, Nathan fought every step. Legs shook, hands clung to bars as lifelines. I never gave pity. I repositioned his body, monitored vitals, his pain fresh, his toughness fresher, and I had a grudging respect for that. Days went by, a steady quiet building. I'd glimpse him staring, wondering why I hadn't left. One night, preparing his medication, he spoke, voice measured. You're not like the others. Why this job? Ethan's betrayal flashed. I know what it's like to be discarded. I'm done letting that define me. His eyes softened a split second, then turned away. Don't get attached. I don't do friends. I smirked. Good, I don't do fairy tales. And then it happened. Restocking the meds cabinet, I heard a smooth, confident voice from the main hall. Curious, I followed to the west sitting room. A man, 40s, Rolex flashing, drank bourbon on a leather sofa as if it were noon. Nathan sat opposite, smile strained. You look like hell, the man said, laughing. Good to see you too, Marcus, Nathan said. Marcus Reed, business partner of Nathan, operated Caltech after the accident. His oily charm, eyes darting across Nathan like a transaction, gave me the creeps. I arrived with a water tray, fitting in. Marcus's eyes came to rest, slow, evaluating. This the new nurse? Sarah Perez, I said coolly. Better than the last ones? Nathan cut in, sharp. She's here to do her job, not entertain you. I set the tray down, heart racing. Marcus's laugh lingered. His next words stopped me. Prescott Ventures is ready to move. Prescott hit like a punch. He leaned closer to Nathan. Richard Prescott's ready to fund the merger. Just need the control package signed to the shell company. Olivia's got the board lined up. My heart pounded. Olivia Prescott, Claire's sister, bound to their father's empire. Nathan sat before the window, knuckles whitened. I'll scan the documents. Marcus pushed. Time is up, Nate. This is the gambit. I slipped out, my mind whirling, and closed my room door. Prescott Ventures, Claire, Olivia. Was this connected to Ethan's treachery? Was I contracted because I was expendable, unsuspected? The coincidence sliced like a concealed knife. That evening, while Nathan was stretching, I couldn't resist. I overheard Marcus. He's pressuring you to sign Caltech to a shell company belonging to Prescott Ventures, Claire Prescott. Nathan stopped mid-stretch, his eyes narrowing. You know her? I swallowed hard. My ex-fiancé left me for her. His eyes locked on mine. Ethan Caldwell. I nodded. You know him? Heard the name through Marcus, he replied, rolling back. You're telling me that my partner and your ex are colluding? I breathed. It's too obvious. Prescott Ventures needs your business. Claire's connected to Ethan. Perhaps they chose me because I'm familiar. He fell silent, expression inscrutable. I prepared myself for rejection. Instead, I'll review the papers. That was all. I lay awake, Puget Sound waves crashing in the distance, reliving Marcus's words. The mansion seemed alive, its darkness keeping secrets greater than my disappointment. Next morning, Nathan was a different man. Concentrated, not acrid. Get me the tablet from my office. Encrypted documents, bottom drawer. I retrieved it, my heart racing. He opened it, scrolling contracts. These are not usual terms for a merger, he grumbled. Shell companies hidden in layers. Prescott's name plastered everywhere. He stared at me. You're not paranoid, something's wrong. I nodded, adrenaline surging. What's the angle? He smiled, first time without bitterness. You don't quit, do you? Not today, I replied. He slipped me a USB. Copy these files, quietly. See what Prescott's hiding. I accepted it, hands shaking less. Ethan's betrayal driving me. This wasn't about Nathan's company. It was personal. I departed the gym, chest constricted, doubts churning. Had I misinterpreted Nathan, pursuing specters of my heartbreak? I walked my room, Puget Sound waves crashing in the distance. What if I perceived betrayal where there was none? Or worse, what if I were correct and Nathan didn't trust me? The stakes seemed larger than my shattered heart, as if I'd fallen in where I didn't belong. Morning arrived. Nathan knocked on my door, a first. I opened it. He sat in his wheelchair, folder in his lap, eyes narrowing. You were right. Prescott Ventures is not investing. The papers transfer Caltech to a shell company Marcus established 2 months ago, hidden in layers. My breath hung. They're stealing Caltech. He nodded, giving me the folder. I need your assistance to stop them. We operated clandestinely, late nights at the oak table in his study, Bellevue's misty hills dark outside. Nathan studied contracts, emails, bank statements, hands trembling with fatigue, concentration razor sharp. I alphabetized evidence, double-checked names, heard him recount regrets. Marcus was with me when I built my first app. I relied on him to talk for me when I couldn't walk. I looked him in the eye. You relied on your instincts in the end. That's what counts. We hatched a boardroom ambush. Nathan called in his attorney, gathered evidence of Marcus's treachery, sent Marcus a decoy email thanking him for taking care of things. Yesterday, Nathan walked with a cane, 10 steps, then 15, each of them defying pain. I want them to see me, just me, not the chair. Caltech's downtown Seattle office was glass and steel, much like Nathan's mansion. We got there early. Nathan walked slowly but surely beside me, cane clicking. Heads turned, whispers rippling through suits as we came into the boardroom. Marcus sat at the head of the table, Olivia Prescott to his right in a sharp blazer, and there, smaller than I recalled, Ethan. His smooth charm lost its luster. Nathan didn't flinch, moved to the head, cane unshaking. This is my meeting. He set out evidence, doctored clauses, secret accounts, Marcus's scheme to sell Caltech to Prescott Ventures. Olivia's mask remained unmoved. Marcus grew pale. You can't establish intent. I don't have to. Violation of duty sufficient, Nathan said. The board voted unanimously to remove Marcus, void the contracts. Ethan wouldn't meet my eyes. As Olivia stormed out, Nathan turned to me. You're the reason I'm standing here. My heart swelled, not just for him, but for my own strength. Weeks later, Nathan's mansion, once a cold fortress, breathed. We opened windows, Seattle's crisp air sweeping through. The neglected garden bloomed under new care, hydrangeas bursting purple. Nathan limped, cane in constant use, but bitterness dissipated, and so did mine. I ceased playing Ethan's voice, grieving the wedding that hadn't been. I ran repeats on the trail behind the manor, lungs searing, heart unburdened, Seattle skyline sparkling across the water. I laughed with no remorse, like the foster child boy running after happiness between unknowns. Nathan required cooking weekly, pandemonium over meals. He'd swear at the stove, scorching rice, mauling sauce, as I taunted from the kitchen island. He pushed suspect pasta my way one evening. If this kills you, I'm not responsible. I smiled. You'll get my hospital ID badge. He stood stock still, green eyes fixed. As a matter of fact, no. I stared up, puzzled. I placed Caltech in trust. You're included, he murmured. I blinked. What? He leaned in closer. I'm not offering you the company, Sarah, but you made something better than I could have done on my own. I want you in what's next. My chest constricted, warm, like coming home. He drew out a box, a gold ring, single emerald. I'm not asking for forever yet. I'm trying to figure out who I am, and you didn't sign up for this, but will you walk this with me? Not to save me, but because you remind me who I can be. I did not cry, though I might have. I found solid ground, steady feet after shifting sand. I took the ring, slid it on, smiled. I'm not saying no, but I'm not saying yes. He laughed, a sound filling the room. We didn't hurry, shared coffee, quiet mornings, small triumphs. By spring, Nathan walked a mile alone. I passed my certification for a private practice. We employed people. The house was ours, not his. Ethan messaged once. You okay? I didn't respond. No need. That pain brought me here, a life I hadn't dared imagine. On Nathan's birthday, we went to Washington's Olympic coast. He strolled with me, sand crunching under boots, wind biting our faces. He gazed at the sea. Think we'll ever be who we used to be? I shook my head. I hope not. Who we are now is better. He held my hand. We stood there, waves crashing, pasts eroding like prints in the tide. In Tacoma, I saw Linda Hayes, her plaid couch still in residence. She embraced me. You look lighter, Sarah. I was. My nursing practice expanded, coaching young nurses at Harborview. Nathan and I developed a clinic, in Dow led by Colteca's faith, for underprivileged patients. Claire and Ethan's names dissipated from Seattle's rumor sheets. Prescott Ventures were audited, their empire unraveling. I didn't taunt. My revenge was living well, creating something real. The green ring remained on, not a guarantee, but a potential. Drinking along Bellevue's trails, Puget Sound shining, I sensed Linda's words. You've got nothing to prove. I'd regained my value, not by vengeance, but by decisions, mine. The moral: betrayal shatters you, but your decisions make you whole again. Choose courage, create your own way. Thanks for watching Revenza Tales, where tales of grit and success shine. Share your comeback stories, hit like, subscribe for more epic stories.